Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be discussing what I think we can expect from Bethesda at E3 this year. Here is a little clip from an interview with Pete Hines taken at last year's E3.
Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, right? Like it'll come.
Elder Scrolls 6 will eventually be made, but it is multiple big releases down the plan for those folks. They felt like they wanted to work on some other stuff and do some other things, and quite honestly, like, they didn't want to be a developer that was just Elder Scrolls Fallout for the rest of their development careers. And you've got a lot of people in that studio who have been there a really long time, and they wanted to be able to sort of self-determine what things they worked on next, whether it was existing stuff, whether it was new IP. And I think once you see sort of how the next two titles come out, and then how Elder Scrolls 6 kind of ties into what those games are doing and about, I think it'll all make sense. But I think it's going to be a while before all of those things happen.
But what you just said leads me.
After seeing this interview, I for one have high expectations for E3 this year, and it's because of those two projects that Bethesda is working on that Pete Hines had mentioned. The two projects that they are working on before they release Elder Scrolls 6. Last year at E3, there were a ton of minor announcements. Fallout VR, Doom VR, Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, The Creation Club. What I mean by minor announcements is they weren't huge showcases like we had with Fallout 4. It wasn't an enormous game that people have been clamoring for. Evil Within and Wolfenstein are great games, but they're not on the level of a Fallout or of Skyrim. Bethesda does a fantastic job with open world games, so when it comes to them, a major announcement, a big open world game, something that Bethesda is really good at doing. However, how Bethesda is going about business is a bit different from last year. Bethesda is starting to announce the minor things now, instead of waiting until E3 to do it like they did last year. Bethesda has just announced Skyrim VR for Steam, which is coming out on April 3rd of this year. They announced Wolfenstein 2 DLC and new features to the Evil Within. Plus, with the introduction to their newest branch, Bethesda Austin, that is something that could have also waited until E3. However, they did not wait. Does this mean that Bethesda announcing these things now, that this year at E3, they are preparing something big? Maybe an announcement to tell us about their two big projects they are working on before they come out with Elder Scrolls 6? Pete Hines did say that these next two titles will tie into Elder Scrolls 6, so what the heck does that mean? Is one game experimenting with multiplayer? Maybe one of the games is experimenting with a new engine, being that the one they use for Fallout 4 is an aging one. However, maybe I'm looking too much into this, but this does make sense. If Bethesda didn't have anything for this holiday season to be released, then they would have for sure have waited for Skyrim VR on Steam, or new information about this DLC. But they didn't. They are releasing Skyrim VR in a few weeks, and they let us in of what's going on with the DLC. So again, I could be looking way too much into this, but we shall see what Bethesda has planned for us at E3. And I will go over this again. Remember last year's E3. Some of the content Bethesda had shown last year is the type of content they are showing off right now, and they are not waiting until E3. So to me, this could be a sign of some exciting things to come, and I can't wait. Alright guys, I thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more. Remember to comment. I want to know what you guys are thinking, and the only way I can know that is if you guys comment. So guys, once again, I thank you all for watching. Godspeed.